Some of the most perceptive people you'll ever meet didn't become that way through therapy or self-help books. They became that way because they had no other choice. At some point in their lives, reading a room wasn't a social skill, it was survival. Predicting someone's mood wasn't a party trick, it was protection. And understanding people before they understood themselves wasn't empathy for its own sake. It was a nervous system doing what it had to do to keep someone safe. Psychologists have started calling this traumatic intelligence. And it's more common and more complex than most people realize. Here's what the research actually tells us. Trauma doesn't only damage people. In many cases, it also develops them. Studies in developmental psychology show that children raised in unpredictable or emotionally volatile environments often become extraordinarily sensitive to social cues, body language, and emotional undercurrents. Their brains, specifically the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, are calibrated early to catch signals that most people walk right past. The result is a form of intelligence that's nearly invisible from the outside, but runs remarkably deep within. So what does it actually look like? Here are the signs. You read a room before anyone speaks. You walk in, and something in you quietly shifts into focus. You notice the tension in someone's shoulders, the pause before someone answers, the smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes. This isn't mystical intuition. It's pattern recognition built over years of needing to know what kind of environment you were walking into. Your brain learned to scan for emotional data long before you had words for what it was doing. You sense what people feel before they say it. You notice when someone is off, even when they insist they're fine. You feel the shift in a room's energy before anyone names it. Psychologists call this hyperempathy, and it often develops in people who, early in life, needed to track the emotional states of those around them very carefully. You didn't learn empathy from a book. You learned it because your environment required it. You stay calm when things fall apart. While others freeze or spiral, something in you gets quiet and methodical. You assess. You adapt. You act. Researchers describe this as stress inoculation. The idea that repeated exposure to high-pressure situations can actually train the nervous system to handle them more effectively. What looks like chaos to others looks like a familiar problem to you. And familiar problems have solutions. You think about people, almost compulsively. You replay conversations. You wonder why someone said what they said or didn't say what they should have. You notice behavioral patterns that others dismiss. This isn't overthinking for its own sake. It's the mind of someone who spent years trying to understand the people around them, because understanding people felt essential to staying okay. That same drive now makes you unusually perceptive in every relationship and room you enter. You rely on yourself, quietly and completely. You don't wait to be rescued. You find solutions. You figure things out. People who know you are often surprised by this, but it makes sense. When early environments weren't reliably supportive, the brain learned that self-sufficiency was safer than dependence. Asking for help felt risky, so competence became the default. That quiet self-reliance isn't coldness. It's a skill built under pressure. You feel things at a different frequency. A piece of music can stop you mid-thought. An act of cruelty, even one you didn't witness personally, can sit with you for days. A small, genuine kindness from a stranger can move you in ways you can't fully explain. This emotional intensity is a direct result of an amygdala that was activated often and early. You don't just observe the world, you absorb it. That's a gift. It's also sometimes exhausting. You don't trust easily, but when you do, it's real. Your threshold for trust is simply higher than average, and that's not a flaw. Cognitive psychologists call it adaptive skepticism. Your brain built filters early on because not every signal of safety turned out to be genuine. Those filters can feel isolating at times, but they also mean that the people you do let in receive something rare, loyalty that isn't performative, connection that isn't casual, and a bond built on something that actually holds. The thread running through all of this is worth naming directly. These aren't weaknesses rebranded as strengths. They are genuine cognitive and emotional adaptations, evidence of how responsive the human brain is to experience. You didn't develop this intelligence by choice. You developed it because something in your life demanded it. The perceptiveness, the empathy, the self-reliance, the depth, they came at a cost. But they're yours. And understanding where they came from is the first step toward using them on your own terms, rather than simply in response to the world around you.